You don't respect your own word. And that's exactly why you're still stuck, spinning your wheels on the same road week after week, month after month. No matter how many big goals you write down, no matter how fired up you get on Sunday night planning the perfect week, no matter how many times you tell yourself, this time it's different, you keep ending up in the same place. Let's make this real. How many times have you looked yourself in the mirror or sat in your truck on a long Texas highway and said, I'm getting up at 5 a.m. tomorrow and hitting the gym. I'm training 4 solid days this week. No excuses. I'm finally cleaning out that cluttered garage or storage room this weekend so I can actually think straight. I'm posting that video consistently for my channel and putting real work into the grind that gets me to 1 million. You said it with real conviction. You felt the energy in that moment. You believed it. And then morning comes. The alarm goes off. You're tired from the long workday. You hit snooze. You tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow. Or you get home drained from the 9 to 5. You plan to train, but the couch looks better. You plan to eat clean, but the drive-thru is faster. You plan to work on your side hustle or edit that video. And instead, you scroll for an hour, then 2. Each broken promise doesn't just cost you progress. It quietly chips away at something most people never talk about out loud, your self-respect. Not your confidence that comes and goes with motivation, not hype. Your self-respect, the deep, quiet belief that when you say you're going to do something, especially to yourself, it actually gets done. Psychology explains this clearly. When you repeatedly break commitments to yourself, your brain registers the mismatch between I will and I didn't. Over time, that mismatch creates internal discomfort and erodes self-trust. Research shows this ties directly into self-efficacy, the belief in your own ability to organize and execute what you set out to do. Albert Bandura's work on self-efficacy demonstrates that every time you follow through, even on small things, you build evidence that you are capable. But when you break those promises, especially the private ones no one else sees, self-efficacy drops, making future action feel heavier and the intention-action gap wider. Studies on the intention-behavior gap confirm this pattern. People who intend to act but don't follow through often end up with lower self-efficacy, which makes sticking to plans even harder over time. It becomes a vicious loop. Broken promises lower self-trust. Lower self-trust weakens discipline, and weaker discipline creates more broken promises. On the Texas grind, this shows up everywhere. You tell yourself you're building toward financial freedom, but you skip the focused work sessions. You say you're getting in shape for the long haul, but you negotiate with every workout. You want this channel to grow, but you delay posting because conditions aren't perfect yet. Each time, you're training your brain to treat your own word as optional, and unlike promises you make to others, where social pressure, guilt, or reputation kicks in, promises to yourself have no external enforcer. That's why the damage feels silent, but it runs deep. Let me paint a clearer picture of how this cycle actually plays out day after day. You wake up with good intentions. The week looks full of potential. By Wednesday, life hits. Long hours, traffic on I-35, unexpected problems. You skip one workout. It's just one day, you tell yourself. Then another. By Friday, you've already broken the promise you made on Monday. The weekend comes, and instead of using it to reset and build momentum, you feel that quiet guilt in the background. You push it down, scroll more, and promise yourself, next week will be better. This isn't laziness. This is the slow erosion of self-respect. Cognitive dissonance theory, first introduced by Leon Festinger in 1957, shows that when your actions don't match your stated intentions, it creates psychological tension. Most people resolve that tension not by changing their behavior, but by lowering their standards or making excuses. Over time, that lowers the value you place on your own word. Research in experimental economics has even shown that people value consistency between their words and actions, even when no one else is watching. Internal integrity carries real psychological weight. When you break that integrity repeatedly, you start seeing yourself as unreliable, and that belief becomes self-fulfilling. Here's the part most motivational content skips over. Self-respect isn't a feeling you wait to have one day. It's evidence-based. It's built through small, consistent proofs that you can trust yourself. Every time you follow through, especially when you don't feel like it, when you're tired, when the Texas heat is beating down, or when distractions are calling, you cast a real vote. A vote that says, I am someone who keeps my word. Those votes stack, one small kept promise today, another tomorrow. Over weeks and months, they rebuild the foundation. Once self-respect strengthens, discipline stops feeling like a daily battle against yourself. It starts becoming your default identity. That's when real progress on the path to 1,000,000 actually compounds. Studies on habit formation and self-efficacy show that starting with tiny, achievable commitments creates a virtuous cycle. Small wins build self-efficacy, which makes bigger actions feel more possible. People who keep micro-promise to themselves report higher long-term persistence and better outcomes in areas like fitness, work, and personal projects. The opposite is also true. Repeated failures on small commitments can create a downward spiral where you stop believing in your own ability to change. So what does this look like on the road to building real wealth and discipline? In your fitness, you know consistent training and nutrition compound into the body and energy you need for the long grind. But broken promises there leave you feeling sluggish and doubting your discipline. In your money grind, whether it's the 9-to-5 plus side hustle or growing this channel, every delayed action session chips away at momentum. You stay stuck in the same income bracket because you can't trust yourself to execute when it matters. In your environment, that cluttered space affects your mind. You say you'll organize it, but you don't. The mess becomes a constant reminder that you don't follow through. This isn't about perfection, it's about rebuilding the quiet credibility with yourself that makes everything else easier. The good news is, you can reverse this starting today. You don't need massive willpower or perfect conditions. You need to start treating promises to yourself with the same seriousness you'd give to a contract with someone you respect. Here's exactly how to begin rebuilding your self-respect on the Texas grind. Step 1, go deliberately small at first. Don't promise yourself an hour workout if you've been inconsistent. Promise something tiny and undeniable, like I will do 10 push-ups or a 10-minute walk the moment this video ends. Make it so small that failing would feel embarrassing. Then do it. That single completion sends a powerful signal to your brain. I keep my word. Step 2, eliminate negotiation completely. When resistance shows up, and it will, shut the internal conversation down immediately. No, I'll do it later when I feel better. No, just this once. You made the promise. You keep it. Action before thought. This is how you break the intention-action gap. Step 3, track it like it matters. Keep a simple daily yes, no log. Did I keep my word today? Be brutally honest with yourself. No fluff. Seeing the pattern in black and white creates accountability to the only person who truly matters. You. Over time, you'll start hating the no days enough to protect your yes days. Step 4, tie every action to your future identity. Stop asking, do I feel like it right now? That question almost always leads to procrastination. Instead ask, what would the version of me who fully respects his own word do in this moment? Then do that. No debate. Every single action is a vote. Keep your word, vote for the disciplined, unstoppable grinder you're becoming. Break it. Vote for staying average and stuck. Those votes don't lie. They compound quietly until one day you realize you no longer have to force discipline. It's just who you are. Nobody else is keeping score of the promises you make in your truck on these long drives. Your friends don't know how many times you've let yourself down. Your family doesn't track it. The YouTube algorithm doesn't care. But you know. And that quiet erosion is what's really standing between you and the life, the wealth, and the freedom you say you want. The path to 1,000,000 isn't built on hype or perfect motivation. It's built on systems rooted in self-respect. When you trust yourself to execute, everything else, fitness, income, content consistency, gets easier. So here's your direct challenge right now. Pick one small promise you've been saying you would do, but haven't followed through on yet. It could be as simple as drinking a full glass of water, doing 15 minutes of focused work on your grind, going for a short walk, or finally, starting that task you've been avoiding. When this video ends, Pause it if you need to. Go do that one thing immediately. No negotiation, no delay, no, I'll do it after I scroll a bit more. Because the moment you keep even one promise to yourself, you start rebuilding the self-respect that changes everything. That single win becomes evidence. Evidence becomes identity. Identity becomes unstoppable execution. If this message hit you hard, good. That discomfort is the signal you've been waiting for. It means you're ready to stop the cycle. Drop your comment right now. What is the one small promise you are keeping to yourself immediately after this video ends? Be specific. Let's build a community of people who actually follow through. If you're serious about real systems, execution, and the no-hype Texas grind to 1,000,000, smash that like button. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss Wednesday's systems video where we turn this into repeatable tools. This channel is about building wealth through systems, not hype. Now go keep your word, because respecting yourself is the first real step on the road to everything else. I'll see you in the next one.